For a continent so proud of their dragons, there certainly aren't many around. Mazani is the perfect place for them to reside, as both the Northlands and the Southlands just float above the seas. Colder dragons used to tend to the north, along the sharp Ether Snow mountain range. Some seek refuge in the harsh conditions of the Helvete Flats in the east, and a few still called the tunneled Spigen Cliffs in the west home. But they are still few and far between. The Northlands, called Eterjord, are cold and unforgiving, yet crackle with a feeling of ether or magical potential in the air. It has become a hub for those seeking research into a newly emerging kind of magic that involves mixing various magical materials that adventuring researchers find within the land. Osrin, a town that has grown on the side of a large, curving cliff face, is a hub for travelers and researchers who are journeying towards the Ettersnow Mountains from the Southernlands. Etterjord, the capital city run under the Isfiel Council, is set on the most southeast point of the Northlands to allow for easy trade with our slightly warmer Southernlands, Braenar. Covered in greenery and vegetation, Braenar is the primary land for most Mazanians, with its capital city of the same name in the southeast corner, under the rule of the Timeless Administration, led by Father Gabriel Axiom. Most larger cities and towns grew close to the Udar Greenwoods, stretching across the center of the land with tall aspen and pine trees, creating homes for many animals as well as people. Feywimin, for example, has many dwarven, halfling, and Qatari individuals, making memories along the thick branches of wonderfully immense oak trees. Magic seems to be deep in the roots of the Mazani lands, both good and mysterious. Some may see a faint, slowly moving land in the waters. Fear not, that is rumored to be Pyleus, a large floating mass of nomadic fungal. On the dark sands of the southeastmost island is Solivigant's Verge, a place not many have visited due to the folklore surrounding it about its connections to the afterlife. But I digress. There will be plenty to see in this upcoming tale that we're about to take you on in Mazani. Or is there? Taylor, what memory would flash before your character's eyes as the arrow in your head leaks your crimson blood down your small round cheek, mixing with your tears?
Probably teaching my niece, Edwina, how to cook her very, very first recipe in the kitchen together, and helping her step up and stir her first ever pot, and seeing her face as she knew that she needs something.
So what would your home kitchen look like if we were to see your eyes go blurry and you return to your kitchen that you would probably be cooking this in?
The kitchen is kind of short. The ceiling is very low, and it's homey. The shelves are open and bustling with local ingredients brought in from my brother-in-law and from the rest of my family to cook with. It's loud, big family, lots of talking.
Lots of talking. As the kitchen seems to be bustling with your family, your mom is twirling around, kind of moving through with a pan of something, yelling at your father to, you get off that tab, dear, that's for the customers, and turns and keeps going, and he stops pouring himself a little bit of the ale, and he's like, just testing it, and he kind of keeps going. But yeah, you look down and see your small niece there, Edwina, with her brown curly hair up in this high ponytail. You've told her to keep, her hair up to try and not get any hair in any food or anything like that, as that's a trick of the kitchen, I guess, common thing there. And she just kind of is looking towards you for advice as you start to maybe get your pieces out. What would you kind of lead her through?
I think that I would lead her through the process of both preparing the tools that she'll need, finding the ingredients, and writing down what works and what doesn't. Her how to stir properly so that you always hit the bottom, but not too much that you break everything up.
She kind of takes like one of the like plastic spatulas almost, and like when you're not looking, just you can hear it behind you, just her like smashing into it. And she like quickly hears you start to turn around, and she goes back to normally kind of mixing it. She's like, I wasn't doing anything. What's the next step there?
Maybe be a little bit more gentle with those tomatoes. I'll plop a couple more in for her as they're meant to be served.
They're really funny when they explode.
Yeah, they are. I'm sure Nesta will see it that way. Nothing to worry about. You're doing great. I'll hand her some time to pull off of the spray.
She kind of like picks them one at a time because she hasn't like mastered the confident straight pull yet. But she sits and she starts to singly pick them off. I'll plop them in there.
That looks beautiful. Let's give it a try. See if it needs a little salt.
She's like, all right. Do you have a spoon? And she's like,
ooh, be careful. It's hot.
She goes for it for a second and looks at you and gives it a nice little to blow on it before she takes a bite. What exactly are you making today?
Well, we're making our family secret recipe for tomato stew, one of the tavern specialties. It uses all local tomatoes, only grown here, and it just gives them a really, really nice earthy flavor. It's been in the family for generations.
All right. So she takes that bite and she's like, maybe a little more salt.
You taste the acid?
She kind of thinks for a second. Yes.
Definitely a little salt then. I think we should do a little hit of lemon juice as well. Here, hand her to squeeze.
She takes that like a half lemon, I'm guessing, and she's just like, yeah, like right into it. As you put in some salt, she gives it another stir, and gives it like a kind of quick whack with her spoon as she kind of like giggles, and you get a little splatter kind of on the wall. She goes, that's my bad. She takes the small spoon again, takes a little mouthful. She goes, now that's pretty good. And she takes another scoopful and kind of hands it over to you.
That is just perfect. Why don't we bring a bowl to Emmer and see if he agrees, basically.
Yeah, and she takes the bigger spoon that is like, she's small, it's probably about half the size of her head. But she takes it and like struggles to like scoop out a bit and then pour it into the bowl, kind of sloshing a little bit onto the table. She's like, sorry, I'll clean that up. And she puts the spoon back and starts to carry this bowl again. Bowl is probably the size of her head now.
Walking behind her, trying to make sure she doesn't topple over.
Yeah. And she takes it and carries it. And where do you think Amir, your brother-in-law, would be?
He'll probably be towards the front, just kind of helping with the running of the tavern and making sure that everything's getting delivered all right.
All right. Yeah, walks it out the kitchen doors and over towards Amir. You see her kind of start to pick up her pace as she gets more excited. And she walks up and goes, Dad, we made the tomato soup. And he
all on her.
He goes, whoa, well, that sounds great. And he puts the box down that he's working with, this short dwarven man with a big dark beard and dark hair. He puts it down. He's kind of like a stout individual, definitely, classic dwarven build. And he kind of sits on this little stool next to him and grabs a little spoon that she hands him, gives it a quick taste, and he goes, now, don't tell your grandmother, but this might be better than hers. And she kind of like, you see the sparkles in her eyes as she kind of like drops the bowl on the table for a second, turns around and wraps you in a big hug, and she goes, thank you, Auntie. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elret.
I'm gonna give her a gift that I've been making her for the last couple of weeks. It's a teeny tiny apron with the tavern's name on it, Lucky Lucy's, to match mine.
Oh, she like looks at, she holds the like bottom corners as you're like holding it up, and she's like, and she, like mouth open, super excited. Again, the sparkles from her eyes do not cease. And she goes, "Is this for me?"
I think you're ready. Maybe it'll help the tomato juice stay off that shirt of yours.
And she looks at it's like full tomato juicy, like more on her than actually on the table in the back. She goes, "Yeah, I probably need that." And she takes it and turns around and asks for you to help her tie it, and you guys get it on after a second, and you guys stand there in your matching outfits as she just goes in for another quick hug, and you kind of come back to now seeing more red as this blood drips into your eye and starts to pool there as you roll back against the wall. So, we'll now... Y'all ready for this or what?
We should die before we even...
Oh, I guess sort of that's how we're starting.
We didn't even get to live yet, bro.
So, Xander.
Okay.
As you lay on the ground, slashes and gashes from swords in a losing battle pool blood beneath you. What memory would flash before your character's eyes?
Oh my gosh. Probably just a time where it's a warm evening. I'm up in the sky in a balloon, and I'm just kind of cuddled up with my two best friends, Zach and June, and Zach's mom is making some hot chocolate for us, I think.
Yeah, you guys are gathered at your usual hangout space, Zach's home air balloon. What do you think Zach's home would look like as you guys are nestled in like a corner, maybe on a couple cushions or something, as you look and see Zach's mom, Fatima, in the kitchen cooking up some hot chocolate and some other kind of sweets and stuff for you all to hang out and eat there?
Yeah, I think it's earthy, kind of rustic, lots of like mossy green and brown like tapestries hung over with woven patterns. I think just lots of textiles everywhere, and some maybe some little a soft like glowing lights. Just some faint lights.
All right, it's not a ceiling light household, it's a lamp. Nice light household.
More like strings of like filament light bulbs like everywhere.
Awesome. And you have this smell of like warm kind of chocolate wafting through the whole place, as Zach and your friend June sit next to you. Zach in his wheelchair there, kind of rolled up next to you guys, and June sitting cross-legged next to you with her bright pink horns pointed and very obviously trying not to lay like in a way that would puncture the tapestry behind her. There's like a pillow right behind her head, and she's like, "So I was thinking maybe the next time you go out to gather, maybe we can try to find some rare fruit or something. I know last time we kind of got all these books, but thought we, there's a bunch of stuff you could try out there."
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna look for books, of course, again, but I can look for fruits too. What kind do you think?
I don't know. Zach's like, maybe we should find a book on fruits first.
I love that idea. We should do that. It's always good to just start with a library when you're entering a new area. Anyways, you never know what you can find.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully those those late fees aren't going to catch up with us anytime
Don't
soon.
worry about it at all. I'm
Uh.
only banned from 3 public libraries now. It's okay.
And those are back on the other continent. It's not even like
exactly.
near here. You still got plenty of libraries around. And she's like, oh, I love going in and just knowing that it's not going to be back soon. And we can just keep reading them. And it's going to be great.
Friends, the world is our oyster.
I'll say by this time, Fatima comes over with a tray of 3 separate mugs. And I'll say like a little plate of these like small cookies that she kind of just seems to always have around. And she goes, well, here you all are. This gorgeous woman with long dark hair seems to have a headscarf over her, and says, here you all are. Hot chocolate as requested as usual. Not a problem at all. When are you going out for your next gathering? My name Morgen.
Well, it's just tomorrow morning, so.
Oh, that's so soon.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to actually sleep the night before, but it's tradition to stay awake under the stars and head down in the morning. Right at sunrise, so.
I'm sure. There's seems to be a lot of trees and things like that down there. Must probably be hard to see the stars all the time compared to being up here.
It is, but you make your way.
Amazing. So I wish you luck. Hopefully this hot chocolate will keep you warm.
Thank you so much. It really will. I can just smell it. It's so rich.
And she kind of turns back and goes back towards the kitchen area, and leaves you guys sitting there talking. And June goes, so I think we should talk about the elephant in the room. And her eyes dart to a stick over in the corner of the room.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah. We threw it off the side yesterday and it came back.
I know. It's peculiar. I grab it and I throw it off the edge.
You throw it out like an open window in their house. Yeah. And then you guys see it go right back into the corner of the room.
I literally, it's so annoying. I don't understand this thing. It keeps following me everywhere. It's like a pest.
Zach goes, now that was really cool.
It was cool.
Like, that's a 10 out of 10 type flip.
Look, as far as sticks go, this is a pretty gnarly stick. It's big. You can hold it. I don't know. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies, you know?
June goes, yeah, that's fair. And it's not like, you know, we asked Nellery too, and it's not like any magic that she's seen before.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not a work of artifice. That's for sure. I don't know. It does. Yeah. It makes me feel a certain way, but I don't know. It's just strange. I can't seem to get rid of it. That's for sure. So sooner or later, I'll have to figure out what it is.
Well, I just hope that no matter what we find out, that it won't get between the 3 of us.
No, it's a stick, okay? It's just
it's a stick that returns, Morgen.
I don't know. Look. Next time I go out, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who know a lot of things. I can ask someone maybe. I don't know.
That's true. We do travel, we do meet a lot of people, but that means there's so much more out there that I'm sure we don't even know. And that's just from stealing from libraries. I'm sorry, not stealing, borrowing for
extended borrowing. Yes.
Yes, we've talked about that. Zach kind of goes, he takes a sip from his hot chocolate. He goes, we'll be fine. I think it's going to be very cool what is to come of finding out what this thing is.
Yeah.
But we'll be there for you the whole way, regardless of if it's in a balloon or it's on the land.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm glad we're here.
All right. As you see your image kind of cloud again back to this spot where you lay on the floor with pooling blood underneath you,
Insane.
and you go, you take your final breath, releases your mouth. So, Alex, you don't see blood, but you look to your side and see your arm. Your leg lays across from you, and your hat, steering wheel of a ship, is snapped in half on the ground, and you feel your life force flickering. What memory would you see?
Probably a similar point to another time that he would have had this perspective of like the first wreck and waking up after that.
Okay. The original one with the original shipmates?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say your eyes fog into an image of this longboat that had taken off from land days ago, from the southern lands of Braenar, with your crew on board, the daughters of Dryfoid, if I remember how to say that right, Dryfoid. And you look over from your place on the ship and see your closest shipwoman friend, Lowry, who's got brown hair and up in some sort of like Viking type braids. With, you can see her pieces of metal that have been stuck to her face, kind of giving a glint against the sun bouncing off of the waters. You hear your elder, Brienne, walking down the boat, going, "All right, morning, everyone," and kind of walks down. This little goblin elder. She's got these long ears with various piercings in them, and has some what looks like a cowl on with a little bit of furs and a slight cape behind her. What do you think your character would do at the beginning of the day, on this next day of your voyage?
He's probably just going through the typical rites, like waking up, making sure that everything is in line, making sure everything's set for the day. Just making sure everything's in order.
All right, going through your checklist. I'll say you hear an individual start to, pat up the boat there, towards where you are, and you look and see your other shipmate, the only male passenger on this deck, with some pointed high ears and a small head and large round eyes. You see this batfolk individual with his little garb on walk up and go, "Good morning." I need to figure out these fucking voices.
It's perfect.
Good morning, Peter. How's everything going with you?
Everything's great. I just cleaned the deck from the salt last night, and oh, would you look at that? And he points a certain direction for you to look.
He's gonna look, yeah.
He looks, and you can kind of hear a rustling behind you for a second. He goes, "Oh, I think it was just a bird. Well, have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna keep going." And he walks down the ship, keeps swabbing.
Can I immediately check anything on me for anything having been stolen?
You look around you feel your pockets and stuff. There's nothing stolen, but you look, and one of the passive knots, like Beto knows the ship as well, but one of the like passive, maybe like reinforcement knots seems to have been untied, and you can hear him kind of laughing as he kind of goes down the boat.
Beto, you would kill us all if you keep these shenanigans up.
He goes,
And he's going back and retying it.
"Well, at least I can fly." He's going.
Speaking of, would you be able to go above and see if you can see any dangers in our path that we cannot see?
He goes, "Sure thing," and he puts the like mop against one of the barriers on the side, and starts to like He initially starts climbing and then kind of like jumps off the side a little bit to catch some air with his wings and flies up towards the, I guess it wouldn't be a crow's nest if it's a bat up there, so like the bat's
Oh,
nest.
bat nest, yeah.
Now we're in Batman. Kind of flies up there as you kind of continue your stuff, etc. And Beto goes, "Wait a sec," and he looks around, looking. You can tell a little nervousness in his words there. As you look and see, Beto's like, "There's definitely some clouds over there. Those don't look too good." And he starts
We'll
signaling
have to
down to
avoid
other
some.
people. You say I tried to avoid him?
Yeah, just to him and whoever else would be specifically directing the ship.
Yeah, I'll say your elder is at the ship wheel right now. And she takes a second and looks around and she goes, "Well, I'm looking around and it seems to be just clouds all around us. We better hold on." And she kind of starts to tie some ropes tighter and turn some of the sails and such, as other members try to start to hold on. Others tie themselves to things, as you can start to feel your ship kind of start rocking harder and faster as the storm starts to pick up. And it gets significantly worse as the winds start to pick up. You can see people clutching onto their like cowls, and even some people like just full hard grabbing onto the side of the ship, as you start to hear rumbling of clouds and such, and in a split second and a crack of white, you guys feel a giant bolt of lightning hit the center of the ship, and you start to hear as different pieces of wood starts to crack. And from your vantage point at the very front of the ship, you just see that part start to kind of teeter forward before falling into the water as you're attached to it. And what do you do in this moment?
Is how many others are on the front half on my end?
I'll say there are about 4 others.
I think he would take as many pieces that have already broken off around him as possible and try to fashion anything that would float and get them to them.
All right. I'll say, give me the first roll of the campaign.
God, now I also have to remember how rolls work for this one too.
It's 2d12.
Yeah.
And let's see, Anna is now also forgetting the different stats, so I'll just pull up someone's character sheet and we'll go off that.
Yeah, and I remember the success with hope, success with fear, and fail with
Yes.
hope, fail with fear, all of that.
So I'll say it is your 2d12 roll. For, let's see, we'll do
Tinker or
yeah, I'm thinking like finesse and tinkering for that. So
that
finesse roll.
that plus 0. That is a crit, because if they match, that's a crit, right?
Yeah. What did you roll?
There's 2 4s.
2 4s. Wow. First roll is a crit. That's
great news.
crazy.
Reference.
Good omens.
Yeah, send a picture of that in the Discord.
Yeah.
That's it. Game's over.
I'll replace them. I'll stage them.
Yeah, you won. You won Daggerheart. Campaign done. That's it.
Campaign over.
That's crazy. Oh boy. Is that an omen for how this is gonna go? I really hope so. Okay. So, what does it look like as you successfully fashion together? You get enough planks of wood, and I'll say you also can grab some rope. It seems like you definitely have the materials around you. Do you like peel yourself from the ship, or are you staying on there?
I think there's, in this specific moment, a certain degree of like parent on adrenaline lifting a car, and some of his body parts are detaching and kind of working together. So like his hand off on one bit of the ship is pulling something and untying it, while the other hand is doing something else. It's about 10 feet away, and all is moving throughout the water, and just Inspector Gadget kind of like coalesces back together and has this raft, or any sort of raft or rafts for them to be able to float up to the top. But
Definitely.
he's
Nicely
kind of
built.
floating centrally.
Okay. Nicely built and sturdy. You kind of signal to your other shipmates that you have this board here now, of which do you let go as you see your weight, being as big as you are, is just kind of sinking?
Yeah, dense metal for sure is gonna. Yeah.
So
He's
you
not
release...
holding on. He's just trying to make sure that those four are good.
Yeah, you signal to them, point to them. You maneuver it in a certain direction, even though as you're going down, you can move it to side right under them and release it as you see this pallet start lifting up to them, and they catch it successfully. You seem to save, in this moment, 4 of your shipmates as you look and see the rest of the ship kind of starting to turn in and down. But these other people who are not on the front half have a little more time to gather themselves as you slowly get towards the bottom, and your eyes start to go black as you lose your life force, both what seems to be in that memory and the current moment. So, we'll now move to Katie. Singed, as if you flew too close to the sun and were badly burned, is where you lie. The pain is overbearing. It is too much. You feel your body almost going into a form of shock as you grasp for any next breath you can. What would your character see in her last moments?
I would think back to the time right after I was done playing with Nadine, going back to my mother and elder, where they showed me the secret plot where they grow their special flowers, and them telling me about what responsibilities they believed that I could do for my town.
Okay, so you just head back to a normal sort of hangout sort of conversation area with Nadine?
Yeah, we were by the river. We just finished swimming.
Yeah, you guys are you're Nadine is shaking their white short hair out and kind of replace their glasses as they button up their shirt and throw their suspenders back on, and they're like, well, I think we should head back. We've been gone for most of the morning, and those flowers aren't gonna grow themselves. Those bees aren't gonna they aren't gonna produce any honey if I'm not there. Well, I guess they will, but we won't get any of the honey.
But I love to swim, Dean.
I know, but you gotta be glad that I'm here, otherwise none of our work would get done.
True, but that's what you're good for, and that's why I like you.
Well, yeah, you better be thankful that I'm around, lifting all that heavy shit when you can't seem to, or there's usually something wrong.
You're just a lot better at it than I am.
You bet your ass I am. And they turn and start walking back up the path. And you head back to would it be your house or a common area within the fairy realm?
My house is kind of off of the common area.
All right.
There's a central common area, and then the houses surround it.
All right. What would your house look like as you walk up, seeing your mother discussing whatever with what seems to be your mentor, Leon, just sitting there with her wings out?
My family's primary focus is gardening and flower-based trades and whatnot. So our house is inside of a hill, and that whole hill is our property, and it's covered in a bunch of varying types of flowers all going down as a roof.
You see there are various like soft cushions as well around a large table that seems to be like a giant slab of like a continuing like tree trunk that has been cut in half. And your mother is there with her long aging white hair, gorgeous orange flowers tucked in as well with her large, very ornate wings, sitting there with a small, like very tiny teacup of what looks like some fairy mix of elixir and tea that you would know very well, sitting next to your mentor, as I said, Leon, this aging, older and probably oldest fairy in your town. As your mother goes, "Oh, welcome back, dears. How was your morning?"
Oh, Dean and I just went swimming for a little bit.
Dean is just like fully standing right outside the door, like shaking their hair dry outside, knowing it'd probably just get on the carpet in there.
Yeah, we played Waterweed again today. I definitely found the most.
Dean outside goes, "No, you didn't."
I definitely found almost the most.
And you can hear your dad kind of chuckle from the back garden area, and she goes, "Well, I'm glad to hear it. There's more of our fairy tea, if you all would like, before you get your day started. Leon has just stopped by to say hi and check out the flowers and how they're doing." And she kind of nods over to Leon, who goes, "Yes. Hello. How are you today?"
Hi, Leon. I'm just splendid.
"I'm glad to hear it. I need to continue on with my day, but I thought I'd come by and just say hello. I cannot go many days without your mother's tea. So I stopped by just for a little bit." And you see your sister off in the side room walking by with a freshly baked loaf of bread, probably one of many, as she is the like bread baker of your family sort of cheese and bread business.
I hit her with like a little puff of air as she comes in so she knows that I'm home.
And she kind of like looks startled for a second, and she looks and kind of just like stamps for a second, and she signs to you, "You better stop that." And she continues through, followed by a couple of different fireflies that you see. A couple of them have like a little blinking light on their butts as they follow.
How much time does that mean again?
I'll say you would know from how much she uses them. The one that's blinking is at about probably like a half-hour interval blink or something. And she continues through, puts her bread off to the side, and continues with her bread part of the business. Yeah, but your mother goes, "Well, so we've gotten you some new ingredients and some new equipment as well. Leon suggested a specific location, so we went and grabbed some yesterday. You'll find those over in your what do you call your cheese making location?"
That's a good question. I'll think on that.
All right.
Making location is good, I think.
She goes,
Say
"Well,
the secret cheese layer.
secret cheese layer." She goes, "Well, regardless, they're in there as a little gift for how well you have been doing at the farmer's market."
I'm so excited.
So,
What kind of flour? Have I worked with it before?
It's a different kind of flour. The flour actually was suggested from your sister with her bread making, instead of, or are you talking about the regular flowers that we grow?
I'm talking about bloom.
Oh,
Were
yes.
you talking
Well,
about other flour?
yes, I thought you'd want to potentially explore different horizons.
I don't think you use flour to make cheese, girly.
Yes, I know you don't, but
Oh, yes, yes.
you might want to diversify. Maybe you can learn to help your sister in the kitchen a little bit with her bread, seeing as she helps you grow your flowers.
See about that. Isn't that right, Gwivy?
She kind of looks and sees you guys talking and reading your lips, and she goes, and she signs back to you, I'd appreciate some help.
Fine. I'm more than happy to help you, Gwivy.
And Dean kind of walks in and goes, Gwivy, and kind of a little more broken sign language, looks at Gwivy and goes, I can help you too. And kind of nods. And Gwivy goes, thank you.
Me and Dean together, making things with Gwivy.
Dean kind of walks up and goes, well, looks like you've got some work cut out for you. I also have bees that I would much rather say hi to. So, kind of knocks you on the shoulder for a second and says, I'll see you around.
Charcuterie night?
Yeah. Turns and walks back out. And walks back out the door that seems to kind of grow into a closing black view as your vision starts to go blurry. And you take your last breath. So, last but not least, Landon. You start to feel your head twitching as you slowly look down to your chest to see the sharp reflection of a sword embedded in your chest. A faint silvery gold light emanating from your wound as your blood starts to pour out and down the sword blade. Where would your character's mind go in these last fleeting moments?
I think his mind would go to a familiar place back home between fights with his closest friends.
Between fights, all right. You see your vision again blur like the rest of them, as you blink and open your eyes, and suddenly you're in what looks to be your underground sort of, just outside your underground sort of fighting ring. In the hallways that kind of sprout from the entry door, as you hear walking down the hall, pretty lumbering sort of walk as you look and see your friend Nud walking up, being like, "All right, man. Seems we got a big one tonight."
Yeah.
You got it though. This
What you got for me, small fry?
He kind of gives you like a punch in the arm, and he goes, "Well, it seems to be this orc guy kind of came and he was interested in fighting. Heard you can make a quick buck out of it, unless you're going up against you,
Hey, I'll make quick work of everything. You know me."
Yeah, it'll be a good one. And as you're talking in the hallway there, you hear the fluttering and you see a bright little light coming down the hallway as you see your head of fighting operations, sort of, Iola, fluttering down the hallway. She goes, "All right, get it together. We got a fight coming up, and you're next, buddy."
Anything you say, boss. So, who we got? What's the call?
Well, it's this orc guy. He seems to try to be faster than he is, so you might be able to trip him up a little bit. Work your magic. You got it. No problem.
Oh, yeah. No one's faster than me. I've got the fastest hands. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, yada, yada, yada. Let's just catch another W.
She's like, you bet. Both those things got wings, so I'm all for it. As she flutters right next to you. And she kind of like seems to be doing some calculations on different math and stuff. She's like, there seems to be a lot of bets on maybe round 2 or 3 knockdown, so you aim for around there maybe. If you're,
All right,
if
so
you're
let
playing
him
around with it a little bit.
let him play around. Wait, is it round 2 or round 3?
She's like, they're both a little bit around the same, so either way, make it a good show, and no one will be mad.
Fair enough. Call it heads or tails. I'll
She
just
goes,
flip a coin.
You hear Nud go tails as he like flicks sort of his back tail.
Should I actually like flip something or should
If you want to,
I will.
you can.
I actually do have a coin. Don't worry. All right, round 3 it is.
All right.
This will get a little warm up and stretch in.
Nud goes, oh yeah, I love a good round 3. A little bit longer, a little bit more exhausted.
Yeah.
It'll be great to see.
I could use the exercise anyway.
Nud kind of goes like, "Hey kid, bud," and he like smacks your stomach for a bit, but you got like the rock hard abs, like full joking.
I like take my scaly hand and like do the same thing back without holding back at all.
Of which he's like, "Oh," he's like, I got a layer of fur there, man. It's not the same. Mine's a little softer."
just trying to keep you sharp, buddy.
He's like, "Yeah, he's like, I'll be up there. I'll be sitting next to Justin. Braith will be there too, so we'll be watching you from a few rows up. But we'll see you in there, bud."
I should charge you for it.
You wouldn't charge me. I buy you all this shit. I buy you dinner all the time, buy you drinks.
Yeah. Semantics.
Iola looks over, she's like, "You never bought me a drink." And they kind of turn around and they go back down the hallway.
That was supposed to be on Nud.
Yeah. Do you prepare yourself for the fight?
Yeah.
What does your routine look like as you're getting ready?
I think that there's a lot of antsiness. I think like he's putting on a good front with Nud as he kind of jokes, and then when he gets a moment, it's like you see him shake a little bit. And I think there's just like there's some shadow boxing, and then when he has a moment alone, it's just like he sits down and like he's tapping his leg and hands are kind of shaking. He's trying not to like throw up.
So if you take a second, kind of center yourself, do you try to reach out to something more, or do you focus in on your center as you sit there?
I think I try to reach out. I think I've tried to reach out, whether I realize it or not, for a long time.
Okay. All right. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's do an instinct roll real quick to like sense yourself, recenter, sort of navigate where you might be reaching out to.
Sure. So 15 with fear.
15 with fear. All right. So I collect a fear.
Dang.
Oh yeah, Alex. I know we haven't done much yet, but usually if you get a crit, you take a hope and clear a stress. But I don't think you haven't gotten any of it yet. So.
Yeah, I didn't have any stress. I was gonna ask because I couldn't remember. Do you start with 3 hope, or I thought there was something about you start with whatever at the beginning?
Yes, you're supposed to start with a certain amount.
It was either like 2 or 3, I think.
I think on the character sheet it shows 2. Yeah, 2 hope.
I'm not too sure.
I can look it up on mine, but
Okay.
since I made a copy of a different character sheet, I wasn't sure what was left over.
Yeah, it might be left over. All right. So you said a 15 with fear?
Yes.
All right. You center yourself for a second, and I think, regardless of if you intended to reach out or not, this seems to be sort of like it feels like your normal fight. This is what you usually do. You center yourself. You think about, your movements and things coming up, and you try to reach that space of, zen and clear mind, so you can go in knowing your movements, and you reach out to the energy around you. And I'll say in like your dreams and stuff, you would have heard like murmurings from, the person you follow, little hints at confidence boosts and things like that. I feel like reinvigorating your faith in this this deity. Today, though, you hear in your ears, "It's all about to change."
All about to change. It's all about to change. It's all about to change. I think, therefore I am. Round 3.
All right. And you go in, cross the threshold of your boxing ring, and continue into your match. Would you like to? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think his I think his walkout song is like a bardic freebird.
Yes.
as he becomes full of center. I think there's
a singular bard like in the first row, just kind of like shredding on some sort of string instrument.
I think when I climb into the ring too, it's like everything's about to change. Like, kind of not sure if that came from like the voice in my head or something beyond, to just do one more like center up, find my center, and then take a stance, wait for the bell to ring.
All right. As you wait for the bell to ring, you hear the ding, and your eyes start to go foggy again. As you breathe for a second, again shaking, looking down at this sword, before you feel yourself get numb at the knees and collapse to the ground. So, we'll now move to our next part. As you all, in your various locations, open your eyes. And you hear around you the sounds of kids running. Actually, sorry, I have a little thing here. I forgot it. I couldn't find it in the doc. Your eyes all drearily open to view the bright morning sun rays clipping through the thin curtains of your room. The smell of fluffy pancakes and warm butter wafts up the stairs and under the small cracks at the bottom of your doors as your ears begin to process the sounds of kids running down the streets. What would you all like to do as you look around and all seem to be in your own room? Wooden floors, wooden walls, a single window with this curtain attached to it.
I need some tea or something. Jeez, I had a dream.
You say you had a dream and you need some tea, so would you like to leave your room?
Yeah.
You leave your room and you look and you seem to be in the hallway of what looks like an inn. A long sort of rug carpet sort of extends down the hallway, down to a set of stairs, which leads to what looks like you can hear a bustling morning tavern.
I hope they have tea.
So you come down. There seems to be a single, maybe not single, there's a couple different waitresses and waiters walking around with their various trays. Some have ales already, even though you can sense it's early in the morning. Some have plates of eggs and those pancakes with melted butter, kind of walking around as they move to a table, and you can hear the clattering of the plate there, and they're passing out all this food. There seems to be a bar as well in the tavern, with a single, what looks like Inferis, I believe is the name, in Daggerheart, but a horned individual with what looks like red skin, standing there, doing the regular bartender thing of cleaning the top of the bar, waiting for the next person to walk up.
Hi.
She goes, hello there. What can I get for you?
What kind of floral teas do you have?
Well, floral teas, I'm not too sure. We've got the usual chamomile. We've got plain black tea. It's not really a very foresty flower place.
Well,
I'll say you kind of look outside and
all
you
right.
recognize that you're in the city limits of Braenar.
Black tea's fine.
He goes, all right, one black tea. And she turns around and starts pouring you some tea. Who else would like to do something?
I am going to kind of stumble down the stairs a little bit, like just kind of trip on my last step, and make a big kind of heavy clanking sound as I look around for Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, you'd remember your friend in the room next to you.
A little bit of panic on my face as I realized that she wasn't in her room. Oh, there you are. I'm going to look for tomatoes.
Okay, why?
And I'll say we'll take this beat real quick. If you guys would like to describe your characters, what people would see as your two individuals enter the tavern space.
Can we pull up the art?
Sure, we can pull up the art.
Pull up the art.
We have this one and that one. All right. I like the link to Middle English Freebird.
Huge.
All right. So if you look in the Discord channel, and I'll flash it up in the video for viewers to see, we have our two individuals here. I'm making sure it's the right channel and everything too. But yes, you look and you see Aurelia, our golden-skinned fairy, and Elret, our dwarf, or was it half dwarf? Okay. And we see our two talking there, standing at the bar. Shout out to Isa for all the art because it's phenomenal and
I love it.
Looks great.
That's kiss.
I'm not gonna lie, Elle. I had a whack ass dream, and I'm tired.
Well, I can make you that tea that you like.
I'd like it a lot more than whatever they're probably gonna whip me up from here.
As the Inferis sets down the tea, she goes, "Well, all right, y'all can get anything else if you like."
You don't get me.
I really don't. You
And
came
that's
in
okay.
yesterday.
Okay, that's okay. Here. I sprinkle some flowers on the top, some of the peonies, which I know that you like in your tea.
Thank you so much, Elle. Let's go get you those tomatoes.
And we'll say around the same time, which one of you guys would like to do something as you open your eyes into the same sort of room?
I think so. When you said, just for a point of clarification, we're all in our separate. Everyone's got their own room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. I think the moment I snap to, I immediately hover, cross my legs, and meditate.
You sit and you meditate.
Yeah, assuming I kind of woke up from whoa, sword in the chest, just start communing.
You kind of clutch and you feel it's warm, kind of where that wound was. But do you reach out? Do you just kind of center yourself?
I kind of center myself and kind of just reach out into the void, kind of thinking about stars and.
All right, I'll say go ahead and make another instinct roll.
Come on with me. Let me pull up something too to make sure I can. All right. Probably not. Geez. 19 with fear.
19 with fear.
I know.
All right.
I might retire this pair.
Just swap which one's which.
Yeah.
All right. You sit. You center yourself. You kind of put your hand on your chest where that wound was, feeling the warmth there, and you breathe. You center yourself in your crossed legs on this bed here, and you take a second and reach out, and you get the same sort of feeling from your memory as you're thinking about the memory that you saw how that was probably many years ago, and you've gotten better at reaching out since then. You're used to kind of what it feels in the couple of different times that you have reached out and met this individual, and you feel that connection happen, and then you feel nothing but static and shaking. The connection is made.
Everything has changed. And I don't know the path. Well, might as well drink. I'm gonna step and kick my door open.
You give the door a kick, goes right into the hallway, smacks into the wall next to it. As you come out to that same sort of carpeted hallway area leading down to a tavern below.
I'm gonna walk towards the tavern and not jump, but kind of step past the stairs and have
the
golden
step
wing.
and drop.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna like step and drop, but I'm gonna unfurl my wings
Stretch
to like slowly kind of glide down, and then very like softly with like one foot then the other land, and then walk towards the bar.
All right. And if we look in our little channel there, I'll throw your art in as you guys look and see this draconic Draconia individual land into the tavern room.
Yeah, he's got
Nice gauntlet.
I feel like I should describe.
Go ahead.
what you
Yeah.
see, but yeah, you hear the door fly open, and this onyx scaled Dracona, who has a like monastic sash, in golden celestial like tattoos all over, and like a heavily scarred face, kind of like walks, and as he like steps over, these golden wings kind of unfurl behind him as he glides, floats, then stomps to the bar, and he goes, "I'll have an ale."
You see that Inferis red-skinned lady go, "Coming right up." She turns over, she like picks up one mug at first and like turns back and looks at you and like looks up to your height, and then puts that one down, gets the bigger mug right next to it and starts filling it. Fills it for a sec and turns around and slides it down the thing to you.
My mic. Cheers.
She goes, "Cheers to that. Gonna have to fix my floors soon."
Oh. Yes, sometimes I don't know my own strength.
She goes, "Good for you. I could probably use some strength back here to lift up these mugs." And she looks over towards her waitresses and whatever that are these like small elven like individuals that are just like have their little plates and everything. Some halflings and stuff that won't necessarily like the mug that you're drinking from is probably about like 3/4 the size of the halfling that's serving right now.
That is not on my path and beneath me, but if you need something truly moved, may I be the first to call?
She goes, "Sounds good. I'll look in the skies for you."
I just like nod and turn. Have we met?
Are you looking at the two right there?
Yeah.
I'm just staring at you.
Like, that drink is as big as me almost.
I like hold out my other hand.
Your
I'll shake
hand
it.
is about half the size of the two of them.
I flutter up so I can shake it like at eye level.
It's like a finger.
So Aurelia, Thistlewick, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What brings you here?
You know, I don't know.
Tomatoes
NATO's.
and
Yeah.
parsnips. Do you know where we can get some parsnips?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Elret. It's nice to meet you. This woman here.
Evandris. Nice to meet you.
You know, our last names are similar, but that's how we became besties.
As good a reason as any, I'm sure.
And cheese.
No. Cooking is not on my
Jeez.
path. I don't know where ingredients would be.
Well, it should be. Everybody needs to eat. Evandris.
Ingredients are everywhere, Evandris. You can find them everywhere. You just gotta know where to look.
By all means, teach me.
Oh, of course. Do you like cheese?
As much as anyone else, yes?
You're about to love cheese.
We're probably heading to the market next door. If you'd like to join us, you're welcome.
Seeing as I'm somewhat unsure what I'm doing, that seems as reasonable as a path as any.
We
All right.
appreciate that we're on your path.
I wish
I'm
I
gonna
knew
distract you.
more than static.
All right. And our last two, which one of you would like to
I
wake
think,
up and leave the room if you want?
I think I kind of jolt awake from that dream and try to locate my stick as best as I can, as quick as possible, and just kind of, I think my heart's racing and
You,
trying to
you
call
find your
myself.
stick in the corner of the room, like how it was in your memory.
Yeah, I think
And
I
as
in
you
bed
jolt-
I bring it towards me. I have it fly towards me.
Yeah, you fly it towards you, and even as you like lift your arm, your muscles feel incredibly sore. Like you just did a crazy workout, and like it like hurts to bring your arm up as you grab
How-
your stick.
How long have I been on land for?
How long do you think you would have been on land for? If you brought your balloon over, what do you think?
I think I might have spent one night camping and until I got here. So so this is probably like the third day.
Okay.
Yeah, so a bit stumbling up, getting used to the solid ground. I think I need to reactivate my senses, so I skulk down. I start to skulk downstairs. My tall, lanky self.
Yeah, you poke your head out and kind of have to duck for a second to get out of the room.
I kind of tiptoe. I'm not wearing shoes, so I kind of just tiptoe down.
Tiptoe down into this tavern area that seems to have a bunch of bustling people around, and I'll say you come down right as people are still like in awe of this individual who flexed these giant wings and landed and walked over to the bar. People are still like looking and like elbowing each other, being like, "Did you see that?"
I'm flexing as they point.
Wow. Okay. I go up to the bar. Do you have any hot chocolate?
Ian Ferris goes, "Well, lucky for you, I do, because it's a festival going on. We've
Okay.
stocked up for all the kids, but by all means, it's a classic. I love it as well."
Good. Okay. Well, it's my favorite, so it's a good thing to start the day with.
Absolutely. She goes and takes a like thick mug and fills it with some of the hot chocolate that is like under the bar. Like it's a little out of view because she's had like various families come in, and the first thing the kids see is the hot chocolate. So she's gotten requests to put the hot chocolate under the bar so that parents don't keep getting asked about
Yes,
it.
you have to ask about that. Not the kids don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a secret stash. Only the right people know. And she comes
right
and
people.
plops down this large sort of almost like a bowl but with like a handle mug
Yes,
of
good.
hot chocolate. Marshmallows or whipped cream?
Both, please.
Sure. And she goes a little bowl, kind of pours some out, and then takes a dollop of this like homemade whipped cream and drops it on top. She goes, "Well, enjoy."
Thank you. Morgan is very excited that they got both marshmallows and whipped cream, and they kind of.
I'll say from the other side, the other end of the bar, where you guys are. I'm guessing, Katie, your character would love sugar.
Yes.
So you
I'm
see
like, my
this
eyes are locked.
plop of sugar down.
I'm just like flittle over. I didn't know they
Oh.
had that here.
Oh yeah, you have to ask special. You know, a lot of places actually do. Just people don't know to ask.
Oh my goodness. Do you want some flower petals in it? We have some over there with our group.
Do you have honeysuckle?
Yes.
Yes. Please and thank you.
Okay, come.
Okay,
I bring
okay.
out my backpack, a little vial of honeysuckle syrup, and just.
This is going to be a wonderful cacophony of flavors. I cannot wait. Thank you.
A wonderful cacophony.
And I'll
You
throw
guys smell your hot chocolate just real quick?
the art of this individual you're talking to in the channel.
Yes. So I'm about
That's
six
exactly what I thought you would look.
6.5 feet tall, very very lanky and awkward, kind of with these green flowy garbs on, shorter like neck length white hair, and little tusks too. So I'm half elf and half orc, and you'll see some golden tattoos on my right arm. Yeah. Thank you. This is gonna be amazing.
Right. And last but not least, do you think you probably rise the last, or would you already be up or something?
No, for sure isn't waking up easily in the morning. But when he does, there are probably like 3 thumps. The first is probably standing up. The second is probably one of his legs connecting with the ground, and the third is he just falls over and just immediately hits the ground. Because it's the thing of both in a dream and also just because it's kind of what he's more used to. If you're like flying in a dream or doing something, and like the get off the treadmill feeling of feels like he was just on a ship, and that's kind of just how he's used to being, and standing up in this apparent land room completely knocks him off balance. Hits
And
the
I'll
ground.
say,
Probably,
as you hit the ground, it feels like your arm, where you remember last seeing yourself, is like loose, almost, and so is your leg.
Can you try to like pop him back in?
Yeah, you take a sec and you pop them back into where they were, and you can move on.
And just kind of did you say it was downstairs, right? Like we're all upstairs and this is all in a downstairs area?
Yeah, so you exit your room, there's this long hallway that leads to stairs towards a tavern area.
And he kind of hunched over permanently, comes down the steps. Just even if it is high enough that he can stand upright, it's safer to not. And just kind of walks around always a little hunched over.
You guys hear the like thump, thump, thump of another set of feet kind of taking the stairs down. A silence kind of goes over the tavern as more eyes now look towards the stairs, and mouths are agape, and some people are just like casually sipping from their drink, not breaking eye contact, as they look and see this individual take the steps down. And where would you go in the tavern?
I think he probably just stops, and it's one of those things that like you're familiar with the stairs, but it still doesn't ever get more comfortable. Like you're aware that you are always going to get stared at, but it doesn't get any easier. And I think he'll probably just stand in this little doorway at the bottom of the stairs, with his arrhythmic 3 clanks with each step, of one leg, another leg, and then his staff in hand.
All right, and with that, I'll send the last picture of our last individual in the channel. As you guys
So
see this
freaking cool.
individual
Nice
with a
hat.
Incredible.
large hat
Oh
and
wait,
a staff
yeah.
walking down.
That's so cool.
I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. I
So
saw this for
cool.
months, and
I'm
I was so
zooming in.
excited to
All
see
of
you
these are
guys.
so cool.
Yeah, no, I'm mad zooming.
I
Oh,
also think we coincidentally did this, from how I understand it, because Katie, you went first, right?
Huh?
You went first on like in the little introduction when we all woke up.
Yeah, I went downstairs first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did this in ascending height, just
Height ascending.
coincidentally. Yeah, he's like
Wow.
Groot sized for scale, like 8 or 9 feet. I think
Wow.
is what I said.
Okay.
So
like,
like,
yeah,
Definitely
so-
cough like some like.
definitely go up to like maybe your knees or your like lower thigh.
All right.
Wow.
You guys see this new individual walking down, just kind of standing there for a sec, taking it all in.
Would you like some tea?
I don't believe I need to drink anymore. And he probably like looks over himself just to make sure, like he's double checking what he's equipped with. But I don't believe that I need to drink anything.
Oh, you can smell it if you want.
I could try.
I'm
How
gonna hold up
strong are you?
if he wants to.
We like to
Not
pride
very.
ourselves on our florals.
I don't believe that I'm that strong, not compared to you. His forearm is like half-inch dowel.
Look.
I think you can see.
How strong
the
are you?
arm that, yeah.
Look down. Oh, right.
I
Well,
would
we
enjoy
plan to
spending
go
more
to the
of
market
this.
if you want to tag along.
Oh yes, I was wanting to go there as well. Yeah.
What about you, Metal Man?
I would partake in this market. Are we going outside?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Really?
The little like hood thing wrapped around his neck just kind of gets pulled over under the hat, but he's down to go.
All right.
I'm gonna start walking away with confidence towards the market to try and leave the group and immediately trip.
Oh,
And
gonna-
what?
Can I reach
Immediately
out?
eats it?
I'm gonna try to grab Elret. Is it Elret?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to. I see her fall. I'm also very confidently walking out. I see her like I'm gonna try to pick her up and kind of right her so she doesn't have to like break stride even. Just like a quick like oh.
I'm gonna like notice him. Thank you. Keep going.
Don't mention it.
I'm just kind of fiddling around the group, just like wee, just like keeping everybody like kind of wrangled in like a border collie.
You remind me of an old friend. It's pleasant.
Good. Well, I just like being like the size I am, but being able to fly because I can meet everyone where they're at, you know?
Indeed. She was very strong, this friend. I assume you are as well.
Oh, this cheese board's good for whacking and serving.
All right then.
It's like I always carry like a little like
is
ginkgo leaf
that
shaped
what that
cheese
is?
board with me.
Yeah, if you look on the back or on the side of her character, there's that little
Like that leafy
made of
looking-
wood.
Oh my
And it's a
Mhm.
cheese board. And if,
Incredible.
also, I'll point out if you look on the back of Elret, Taylor's character, there's a frying pan. It's about half
Yeah.
her size.
Incredible.
Guys
I think
are
it's still
literally
frying pan.
Frodo and Sam out here.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Frodo and
11
Sam.
Z's isn't for another like hour. So
Oh, if you're skilled with cheese preparation, I would love to have a cheese platter for breakfast with an expert if you don't mind.
oh my god, I've never heard anything I am more down to do in my entire life.
Yeah. You know, the sweet of hot chocolate and the savory of cheese actually pair well together.
You know, cheese doesn't always have to be savory. We make our cheese super special.
Okay. I'm listening so intently.
Okay. So there's this flower that's really special to me. And in the daytime, it looks like the sun, and at night, it turns into a little crescent moon. And if you trim it right in between dusk and dawn, right when it's in that transition phase, it's the best fermenter, and it makes the most glorious, sweet, creamy cheese in the whole wide world.
And you know how to make it.
I'm one of the only ones who knows how to make it.
I feel so honored to meet you.
Thank you so
Please,
much.
My name is Morgen. I don't think I introduced myself.
I'm Aurelia.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet all of you, in fact.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as we're like walking, I'm gonna like bend down, just being a few inches taller than Morgan. Like, yeah, Evandris, pleasure to meet you as well. These tattoos.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing to you. We have some almost matching. They're quite different in pattern, so I assume we have different origins. But
Yes, kindred spirit, it seems. What path do you walk?
path? Oh, these are just some tattoos from an orcish tribe. You know, I'm mixed race, so I try to lean into to some part of that. It's a family thing, really.
Some part of me understands that.
Okay. What about you? What path do you walk?
Oh, I walk the grandest, a grandfather's path.
Wow.
I'm written in the stars, as it were.
Wow. Beautiful.
Are you
Good.
saying you're a grandpa?
No.
No, he has a grandpa.
No,
I have a
no,
grandpa.
No.
I think I do
Not-
too.
You know what?
I don't know him though.
It's grandfather. It's unimportant.
Sounds pretty important to you.
It is the utmost. Yes.
As you all say these and exit the inn and kind of turn towards the festival, you all look and see on a giant banner, Festival of the Gods, essentially like from the grandfather followers.
Whoa.
Would you look at that?
Wow.
Right.
Sorry, I doubted you for even a second.
I see.
I've
So you
never
can-
doubted myself for anything. Ever.
Wow.
How I wish to one day be like you. I'm in fact fulfilled with self-doubt. So,
You would not be alone. Just remember, no one can be me. And I just like tap
Okay.
his shoulder.
Dang, you're full of wisdom, aren't you? You're a wise one.
That'd be a great first t-shirt. No one can be me.
wow. Inspiring. So you are running this festival? Your people are
Oh no. They're all fools. They kneel and pray. I walk the path.
it is foolish to kneel and pray. Okay.
Now you're getting it.
I see. All right.
I would, again, like do like the paternal like shoulder tap.
I lean over to Elret and I'm just like, how did we find ourselves surrounded by such tall figures?
No, I'm
Tall,
hoping you can
strange
help
figures.
Hey, you guys up there, you see any tomatoes? I'm a little lost in the people.
Yeah, as you guys start to enter and people are cutting in and out, you guys seem to have like some of the only heads that are actually above the whole crowd. You somehow found the main three people who would probably be the tallest for this.
I would like to look for tomatoes.
Yeah, I'd like to also.
All right.
I think I'm gonna
Three
fly
tall
up.
ass.
I think I'm gonna like you see like the wings sprout, like materialize and like kind of fly up and scan.
With the wings going out, you guys hear people next to you go, "Oh!" and take a step back real quick as you.
I am one of those people.
I flourish on the way up.
All right. Can I have you three make a presence roll, please?
What are
As you
the
try to. Oh, sorry, not presence. Instinct. As you
All
just
right.
perceive, sense, sort of navigate the crowd.
What are the odds? I don't know if this would make it easier or harder, but if I were to take the hook of my staff and try to hook it through Landon, remind me your character's name?
Evandris.
Through the shoulder sash to try to hoist him up a little higher, a little like a fishing rod, to give even more of a height advantage.
Like, oh my
It might make it easier, it
God.
might make it harder, I don't know.
You can try. What do you think Evandris would do as you feel like a hook try to put you up higher to see?
Puppies!
Like, hey, I can do this myself.
Did you not
Ugh.
think more of it?
You see, like you
Advantage.
we probably can't like reach it. It's like got muscular,
Just so
stiff
jacked.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Those
Just-
videos of the guys who like can't reach the
Yeah.
thing on their back.
I think he like frustrating, like annoyed, like just relaxes his shoulders as it pulls up. Him, that and his wings pull up a little bit.
I'm sorry, but my favorite thing is watching buff people try to do anything that requires the tiniest bit of flexibility.
It's me.
It's like I can't bend past here.
Ah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I used to be able to do the behind the back hook thing where you like grab like this and
Yeah, no shot.
cannot. It sucks.
There's no shot. I've been able to do that since I was like 12.
so not hard to do.
All right. I'll say. So, what were your rolls for instinct?
I got a 13 with fear.
Okay.
15 with fear.
23 with hope. 12.
Whoa.
All afraid.
Right.
Y'all
So I
are
get
making it
2
fearful
fear.
of it.
I know. I'm like when we get to the next one, I'm rotating. These are retired after this. I feel
really
like
only
I
had the
need to
first
stick with
session.
them to like make sure they're not gonna like stroke out and have a good luck soon. But
All right. So, I'll say easy enough. This is a large, it looks like, market with plenty of like kids running down the streets and various people with bags and like baskets and things carrying food and other items that they've gotten from various vendors that also seem to have normal food items, little trinkets, and then there are also some larger booths around that seem to have the symbols of the various like deities on them. So you see people talking to people, other people at those booths. You see some passing over some coin for a bundle of carrots. And I'll say easy enough, you guys, with your heads as high as they are and Evandris up in the air, you look around and probably around the same time you all spot this one booth off to the side that has these large tomatoes in a basket up in the front.
just give like hand signals towards where the
I'm gonna beeline, like really trying to shove my way through the crowd.
Oh, there she goes. And she's gone.
Shove your way, reaching through. Do you keep an eye on where Evandris is pointing out as you go?
Yeah.
I'm like
Alright.
I'm like hovering. Is the pole arm still attached too, or we're just like
I haven't said it wasn't, so I suppose, yeah.
just beaconing through?
Yeah, you're just dragging this
I
like
definitely
half
have-
wood
yeah.
and half metal.
I definitely like have a stance of like a Michelangelo painting, like pointing towards where the
Oh my god, I'm gonna need to draw that. Michelangelo. That's hilarious.
Morgan sees Elret sprint off and thinks it's a race and immediately tries to get there before you and runs.
Okay.
I just run so fast.
Hey, Anna, as the DM, what is a unique creature in this world that can produce milk?
Oh.
No.
I promise it's relevant.
It hasn't even been an hour yet.
I need to
an
re-up
important
for my cheese.
That's true.
They have Highland cows.
Yeah, they do have Highland cows, I'll say.
Do dragons
Um,
have titties?
We've been here in a campaign before. I'm stopping it now. Yeah, I'll say the prominent. What is the prominent Welsh cow?
Right, yes. And who's the primary dairy vendor in the area?
Let's see. Welsh. Oh my god. I'll say a Glamorgan cattle,
Whoa.
just because it says glamour.
All right.
Give me that glamour milk.
Okay, that's popular here. There seems to be like a little pen area of like a sort of like petting zoo-esque thing of these Glamorian cows that have like little like brown faces and white splotches and these ears off to the side. There's a couple little baby ones that are kind of sitting there on this hay in this one tent. I'll say it's right next to the tomatoes. So you rush up and there's the tomatoes, and then you spot the cheese or the milk right after it. So you said you're like racing there?
Yes, I think it's a game, and I try to play the game and run fast.
I'll say Xander and Taylor give me agility rolls for sprinting and
All right.
dodging through the crowd. See who gets there first.
So I got 2 1s, which means I crit.
Yeah.
On the race.
Best use of 2-1.
I got a 13 with fear, which seems just about accurate.
You're like bobbing and weaving through this crowd here. For a second, you feel like disoriented in a way, and that slows you down a second as you're like, I even lost Evandris here. And you kind of look to the skies for a second as you hover back over and continue. But by the time you get there, Morgan is at the stand with these large tomatoes that seem to be about this big, that are like native to this area, but they seem nice and big and juicy in this giant pile at this booth here.
I hand one to you. I beat you.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to take them all.
No, I was having fun.
Well, there's plenty here. If there's enough, I'll make us all stew. Is there a person behind the stand?
Yes, I'll say standing there is a Qatari individual with like these furred ears standing up and this flickering sort of cattail behind them. And they go, well, hi there. How can I help? You see you're going after the tomatoes there?
Oh, yes. I'm going to pull out, I have this big mossy kind of spell book that's about a third of my height. I'm going to kind of set it down as gently as I can on the table and open it to a page and be like, I'm looking for these ingredients. Is there any chance? I don't know if they're local here, if they grow here, but somebody told me that I could get excellent parsnips and tomatoes here.
Yeah, well, I've got those tomatoes. There's another stall down that way with some of the other ingredients that seem to be on that list of yours. They should be able to help you down right that way.
Thank you so much. I kind of pull some coins out and hand them over to her.
Thank you very much. And she kind of takes it back, pockets it, and she'll hand you a little patch that says it has little like tomato with little cat ears kind of on the top. She goes, "Thank you so much. Have a good one."
I'm gonna tuck it into the little pocket of my book.
All right.
All right, Morgan, you coming with me?
Yes. May I ask, where did you get that book? It seems like it has so many ingredients in it.
Home.
Home? It's a personal book? Did you write it?
I did write some of it. It's really from my great grand aunt.
Yes.
She started this book, and it's been passed down ever since. It's one of my most treasured possessions.
How invaluable. Beautiful.
Yeah. This recipe I'm trying to make today, it was one of her favorites actually. So I'm hoping I can get it right. I haven't cooked it before, so we'll see.
Okay, well let's find the rest of the ingredients.
Does it have any protein? I like fly down and land.
You land, and as you land, you kind of look to your left side. There's like a very tiny halfling child with like ice cream down the sides of its mouth, just like staring at you land before the ice cream like falls off the cone, and he's just like, whoa.
I like, I clock that. I just want to like lean down and like smile as big as possible. So it's like 6'6" Dracona just smiles in this halfling kid's face.
He's like, "You've got a lot of teeth."
I do. I am to be feared. I am the greatest. And don't you ever forget the name of Evandris. So anyway, what's the ingredient in that? What else is in that book?
Well, it's got some whitefish in it, which I'm hoping to get whole and cooked fresh. Some tomatoes, fresh herbs, parsnips, and some citrus. It's called Meanish Muck.
Sounds delightful. You had me at fish.
Perfect. Could you look around and see where she was talking about with those parsnips?
One moment. Circle back up.
Circle back up. Give me another what was it? Instinct roll, please, for whoever would like to look.
Can I get help from
Sure.
Døden?
Døden, yeah.
Yeah.
So here we'll do it with advantage. So you have your 2d12, and then Døden, go ahead and roll a d6. that'll be your advantage you're adding to Evandris' roll.
Balances out somehow as a 1.
You got a 1?
Yeah.
Instinct?
Yes.
That's a 7 with fear.
7 with fear.
No, dude.
Oh no.
I told you I'm retiring them.
I'm now at
This is
max
going great.
fear.
We're not doing the one-shots anymore. They actually matter.
Which,
I
speaking of...
might retire him early. I might just go with a full new D12 set.
Great.
I'll say, speaking of fear and me maxing out my fear, I will use one of my fear. As you fly up and look around, you don't necessarily spot those ingredients right off the bat. You look around, scan the area, you see those various like tented areas of the various deities. You see one for Tefin Fewim, Udar, you see even like a kids like play area with like what looks like imitated child writing of the name Sochos. And you look around from up top and you see various individual, like you're getting a larger view of this place now, and you look further and you see that there seems to be a section of like carnival games and stuff. You look and you hear like different people yelling, yeah, and you hear like this off in the distance, this one particular scream that is a little bit shivering down your back. And you look towards where it was, and you see another sort of carnival game going on. It had to have been from that. And you come back down. You don't really see it on this one look.
I heard someone. Did anyone else hear that?
Kind of hard to hear down here.
Yes,
you hear, like,
you have officially made it the tallest of our entourage.
Yes. Well, did I see where? I heard the scream. Did I clock where the thing was as part of that roll, or?
Yeah. So you guys, I'll say, are on like a corner spot that kind of splits into a right path and a left path. I'll say you just saw diagonally across a lot of the tents, through other pathways and stuff. You can get to that carnival area. You heard it kind of more down this left side, over there, when you guys have kind of headed down the right a little bit to get to that one booth. But if you were to like double back and go left, that's approximately where you would have heard it.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Evandris is like, excuse me, and is gonna just be too concerned about what he heard to not go right towards it.
All right.
Or at least in the area.
So you head off down that direction.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna follow him. I think he might be leading me to parsnips.
Yes. Do you think you found the next ingredient? Shall we race him?
Yes.
Great.
I think we should maybe keep up with him. Stay behind him, though.
I run so fast again.
I'm like turning around from buying my milk.
I'm
Where
not,
are they
like-
going?
I'm not like running either. I think I'm like on the ground, just kind of like pushing. And then maybe if I get frustrated, like pop up over the crowd and like start
For sure,
hovering
as you're
towards.
walking and have.
I
Like,
try to
intention
estimate
walk.
where he's going to, but I
Okay.
probably get it wrong.
I'll say go ahead and roll I'll say instinct or agility, depending on how you want to do it, perceiving through the crowd, or if you just want to bolt through it.
My instinct is higher, but I think I'll do agility just to bolt. Yeah, that's a 2 and a 3. So a 6 with hope total.
All right. So you take a hope as well. If I
Yes.
forget to say it, make sure you guys take a hope if you roll with hope. All right. So let's say I'll probably about the same time. Or Landon, I'll say Evandris can sense that Morgen is kind of rushing up behind. Do you do anything as you hear your crew that you've been with kind of running up?
No, I think I'm like single track minded right now.
Evandris, we have to get the parsnips.
Yes.
As fast
Hold
as
on.
we can, Evandris.
Hold on. And I'm just gonna keep like trying to go towards trying to
Around how
locate
much
the-
we've like recruited them to just do our tasks, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in this."
I love following instructions.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just keep Bash like, hold on.
I will not hold on. I will beat you.
Morgan keeps running.
Run that way. I just like point towards like the general.
I follow your fingers so efficiently.
You bolt off and are pushing your way through the crowd, and you push, and you kind of see what looks to be a break coming up as you see a crowd of people looking one direction, and you go and you push through and you look, and there's a woman lying still on the ground.
Oh. What?
And there seems to be what looks like an elven woman just laying flat on the ground. Not
is she breathing?
Go ahead. I'll say make a instinct to sense and look. You see other people kind of crowded around for a sec.
A 6 with fear.
Wow, y'all suck today.
Hey, we're getting it out now, all right?
I hope.
Better now than when we're like on death's door,
Correct.
like at the beginning of this session.
We're gonna get like a living on the prayer level
Mhm.
die roll. We're due for it.
Am I still
Yeah.
buying milk?
Oh yeah. So we'll go back a bit. You stopped by the milk location. I'll say there's oh gosh, I need to remember all the ancestries. Let me get that up real quick. You look and there seems to be a Furbolg lady standing there with like the half sort of like cow face standing there, and she goes, "Well, hiya. Are you interested in some dairy?"
Yes. I would like 3 jugs. Like where you see like the nice like creamery ones that aren't that big. I'm like, give me like 3 of those.
Sure. And she
Some
turns
dairy,
and
please.
Looks into this like ice box that is very obviously filled with like large chunks of ice, and she pulls out 3 separate bottles and places them there. She goes, "All right. Is that all?"
Yes, do you like to barter or would you prefer coin?
I'm fine with either.
Okay, so I like whip out my little barter bag and I like take out all of like my little goods, which is like a little cheese, a little flour. Like I'm good at making things that are like derived from raw ingredients but are also used as an ingredient a lot of the time. So I have like a lot of those. I'm like, all these I like refined myself. They're all like,
Oh, very cool. She goes ahead and like separates some of them. She goes, "How about this half?" As she separates, approximately the right amount. She seems to be giving you a little bit of a discount, seeing as this it's a festival day. Does that seem good for you?
good for me.
Okay.
Gather
Thank
my
you very
milk.
much.
Thank you.
And then we return back to.
And then I see like this
appearing.
dragon just bolt off. And I'm like, why aren't they supposed to be getting parsnips, which are like right there?
Yeah, and you follow them back to where they are.
I grabbed the parsnips on the way, though. I know where they're at.
You grab a bundle, and head back. You show up with the parsnips as you stand there with Morgan looking down at this lady on the ground. Let's say Evandris, after a minute or so, maybe not a minute, maybe a few seconds, you show up and see the same sight of this.
Girl, I
elven
leave
lady
you
just on the
alone for
ground.
2 minutes.
Oh, I don't know what happened to her.
Oh my god.
You see a couple other passerbys kind of stop and kneel down and like try to put her head up with something. You guys see kind of like a pool of blood start to catch underneath, and one of them looks kind of like feels her throat, and he like elven man with glasses looks up and oh my god, she's dead.
Dead? What happened?
I'm not quite sure. I was in the building when this happened. And they
Were
stand up
ya?
and kind of look.
Did anybody
Is
see?
he? Hold on. Can I like see if he's lying?
Sure. Go ahead and an instinct roll to perceive and sense if he's lying.
Excellent. I have advantage on this with my Slyborn
Whoa, cool.
background.
Right.
Hell yeah.
That is cocked. Also cocked.
Okay.
2 5s.
Nice.
Huge.
2 5s.
Hallelujah.
I'll roll a d6. Yeah, I got a crit, but I wanted to roll my advantage anyway.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. So I'll say you look around, taking the scenery with a crit. I'll say your instincts and stuff. It's almost like, again, you center yourself. You look. You think towards, your times as a fighter and how you would methodically kind of move through your steps and things and almost recount the events of what happened. You see you're laying on the ground, right below what looks like up top of the shop seems to be a long banner that is now dangling sort of half on the roof, half not, with some of the shingles now loose from the roof, and one of the sign pieces that it would kind of attach to is dangling as well, amidst this super busy street.
Okay. I'm gonna fly straight to it.
Sure. Fly up to it, and it's exactly that. This sign piece looks like it was attached to this piece on the left side, but this piece on the left side seemed to be not super attached. It's almost like a longer piece that you see has like a tripod on the ground and is resting sort of on the roof. But you see the tripod piece, like one of the legs is kind of broken, and is still semi holding on to the roof, but the sign itself is now sort of flapping in the wind, almost like she fell off of this area.
Huh. And how far? From she in the middle of this street, or is it how far is
she fell from probably I'll say a second story, but back onto her back, causing her head to smack down onto the ground and essentially kill her.
If I go to the top, if I go to the top of the roof, do I see any movement fleeing?
Ooh, okay. I'll say go ahead and do another instinct roll.
Okay. Got a crit, which makes me scared because I feel like I'm gonna get some retribution here. Oh, instinct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 5 with fear.
Oh yeah.
And we're back.
What race was this person again?
An elvish woman.
Okay.
I'll say.
Can I also do something?
Sure. Right off the bat, though, with this new look from the top, nothing really seems to stand out from this large, bustling crowd that you're looking at right now. And you don't really see anything on the rooftops or anything like that. But, yeah. What did you want to do, Katie?
I would like to transform into a stalking arachnid, and then I can become a spider and go up and check out the room directly from the windowsill.
Okay. It was on the roof, not in a room, that this banner is.
Oh. Well, that
Still
changes.
Go up? Okay.
Yeah. I'll turn into a weasel and make my way to the roof, and I have advantage on locating. So I want to locate anything that's not quite correct.
Okay.
That feels off.
So you're a little weasel, and you're still in the streets, right?
No, I transform into the weasel when I get towards where I know I can
Oh,
climb up.
you fly up to the roof area, turn into a weasel.
Oh, Julia. Hey. Oh.
Why did she do that?
I'm like looking around, like laser beam. Like, where are you?
All right, so you go ahead and give me, what was it? An instinct roll now.
Instinct with advantage. I got a 17 with fear.
17 with fear. It's all right, guys. I'm at my max amount of fear I could take for right now, so I'm not getting any more.
Thanks, that makes us feel better.
Yeah, I've got zero hope the whole. Actually, I guess you get hope for the crit, but
Hey, I haven't rolled yet, so like you can't blame me for this.
What was your number again?
17.
Damn.
17. All right, I'll say with a 17, at the base of this structure, I think being smaller and like maybe you like hear a little bit more, you hear some disagreements and such at the base of this tripod sort of area with a broken leg of like these three individuals who are just like, what is happening? And start pointing with each other, and they seem to be having a bit of an argument at the bottom.
I do a little point maneuver with my weasel body, and I point dead at him. Hoping that the rest of y'all are seeing.
I give like hand signals down to the ground crew.
Ground crew.
Like my little paw is out, my nose is out, my tail is pointing straight. I'm like
I followed the point.
I knew someone would get it.
You follow the point and see these three individuals at the base of it. I'll say, oh boy, I'm gonna have to memorize these ancestries. I'll say you see standing there what looks like this gorgeous kind of fawn lady with this sundress, kind of standing there with these horns. It seems to be kind of like taken aback, kind of talking with her hands, as well as an elven man standing there with some glasses and some shorter brown hair, as well as I'll say this halfling individual standing there kind of looks pretty androgynous, but he's kind of like waving their arms in the air, talking as they are standing next to that little tripod base of this stand here.
I take my little weasel body and I parachute myself so I land on Evandris.
How do you parachute
like on the
yourself?
shoulder? You know, like a little sugar glider.
That's not a weasel.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do my best.
I cross my arms and fly up to make sure you like meet you halfway, make sure you land, and then like gently land with arms still crossed.
You see like the jump off, and you're just like catch and land.
I'm like, let's go.
But yeah, you land around these three here who are like in this heated discussion. You see this halfling go, well, I'm small. I can't see everything that's going on, especially in a large crowd like this. And the other man goes, well, someone knocked into me. That's all I'm saying. And the fawn lady goes, so what, I got big feet. Why would you blame the fawn with the big feet? But it doesn't mean that I'm always knocking into things, you know? And they are just bickering back and forth as you guys sort of walk up.
What seems to be the problem?
Yes, are you bickering when there's someone dead? We should get a cleric. We're
All three of them kind of look over and they're like, what do you mean someone's dead? Is from the fawn lady.
Point.
You point, and the three of them, the two of them look over and kind of look over your shoulder and go, you see the fawn lady go, oh my god, oh my god. The elvish man goes, oh, and like puts up a fan to like not look at it. And then the halfling is like, move out of my way, I can't see, and moves your legs and goes, oh geez. I'll get a cleric, and turns and kind of like rushes off to one of the booths with all of the like sigils of the deities and such, as there's probably going to be one there.
Friends of
I
yours?
would
Friend
say-
of yours? Pointing to
Who?
the dead body.
Oh, she goes, the fawn is like, I've never seen that lady in my life. All I know is I was moving through this crowded space, which I don't know why this is not like a main thoroughfare, but it's tons of people. I been moving around, got a little pushed, and then suddenly this elven man here says that I stepped on him. I don't think that was me. I just got big hoops.
Well, if there were one place where it would be best for a fatal accident to occur, I guess it would be the one where there are many, many diviners that can perform miracles. I guess it's lucky.
He goes, yeah, that's right. I really hope it wasn't because of one of us, but and she kind of side eyes the elven man. He's like, for sure, I doubt it was me, but as long as the cleric gets here, but
That's a really sus way of
Is he
saying
lying?
that.
Lie check.
Yes.
all right. Whoever would like to lead it, go ahead and I guess like Landon.
You
if
guys
you
are
want.
being quite nonchalant.
Do
I'm
an
like,
instinct.
listen, I'm like, kind of, you see, like, Evandris kind of squints his eyes at this elven guy.
And I'll say, Katie, roll a d6 for advantage for Evandris.
Yeah, which I have. I still
I
have.
rolled a
it.
1.
If one's fine.
All right.
God, okay. Was this instinct?
Yes.
All right, love math. That's 21, 22, 23 with fear, of course.
3.
Yeah.
Alright.
And it doesn't even matter because
That's
it's
nice.
fearful as hell.
Yeah, you're living in the fear now. But yeah, this elf genuinely believes it was not him. But as you're hearing this situation, it seems like probably could have been a couple different people, maybe accidentally bumping into this tripod thing and inadvertently causing her to lose her step.
Since I don't think he would have been with the group for any of this, and would have definitely been more intrigued by the dead body, can I'm probably not good at any of these because these are not any of the strong seals, but can I make any sort of check to see if there are any identifying features? Because I heard you mention a few of the gods. I heard like it's the festival and everything, and just any identifying marks, clothing, anything like that on her body.
Yeah, go ahead and do an instinct roll. There's a lot of instinct rolls because it's a lot of perceiving and sensing.
Yes. Because it is a
Where
perception
am I?
equivalent. That is in 19 with fear.
All right. 19. With a 19, I'll say, let me check something real quick. I'll say a 19. There doesn't seem to be any distinct like god markings or anything like that. I'll say that you recognize the, I'll say, logo or symbol that is like on her shirt, because it matches the shop that seems to have this sign above it. Like you could gather that she was probably fixing the sign for her own shop when something was knocked and potentially pushing her over.
Yeah, I think I'll just put her in, like, start moving the body around and put her in more of a comfortable position.
As you enter the
Comfortable,
area, people are
yeah.
like just eyes glued on you as you're moving around doing your thing.
Yeah, doing that, doing a little eyes closed thing that always happens. And yeah, stands up, uncurls himself, and stands up amongst everybody else to look for where everybody went because he was not paying attention to what they were doing.
Yeah, and you see the three of them off to the side there, bickering and all that with the rest of your group there.
You see two of us and a weasel.
Yeah.
Arms folded.
No idea who the weasel is.
I'm just
I'll say
chilling.
about this time the halfling runs up with the cleric, and the cleric goes, "Oh, it's this like dwarven lady. Oh gosh, Anna now needs to remember all of her deities that she had written out. It's alright, I got a cheat sheet. She has, we'll say, a symbol of Rhodia Huabani, a eye opening to an owl head. An owl head with a third eye open, the original two eyes closed symbol on her chest. The god of affliction, medicine, science, etc. Runs up. She goes, "Oh dear. All right, everyone, please clear the space. We'll take it from here." And she kind of starts tending to the wounds and all that stuff. Brings in someone to help as well. And it seems like they kind of have this under control now.
Well,
Is there
I
anything else you
suppose
all would
it's
like
good.
to do in the area?
What were we doing?
Parsnip.
Got him. Oh wait, hang on, I'm a weasel.
I don't know what weasels sound like.
Just picking them up off the ground.
What was that?
Just get you. You just do your toad voice.
Like trying to enunciate. Like, I point right at where I dropped him when I went weasel mode.
I go and pick them up and put them in my bag and kind of looking around and seeing if anyone's freaking out or looking suspicious about this death.
Sure. I'll say, you as well. Make an instinct roll. I feel like I'm half like running this part like D&D, half like running it like Daggerheart with all the perception rolls.
Yeah, for sure.
With fear. Wait, I need to add my thing. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
instinct.
23 with fear.
All right. So, 23. I'll say, honestly, yeah. So you see this cleric kind of tending to this body here, has a couple of other kind of followers come and pick it up, and they seem to usher it off to an aid station. As this like sort of weeping other elf man follows behind, just kind of like but there doesn't seem to be anything super duper mysterious, just this like crazy crowd of people that seem to also kind of be blocking your paths.
Well, I guess that's it then. Yeah, I will go run off and join the others.
Alright, you guys reconvene. Is there anything else at the festival you all would like to do?
Can I see if is the cleric is the person back to life, or are they truly dead?
You watch them take this person almost like on a stretcher almost. You watch them kind of carry them off to this like aid station that is fully kind of covered in cloth around, and they bring her in there, and that's all you can kind of see is the flaps kind of close behind them.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop out of being a weasel for a second. Or not for a second, but just drop out of being a freaking weasel.
Impressive.
Like, guys, today's had a weird vibe.
It's been a start.
Yes.
I appreciate the snappy action out of all of you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't want any crooks to be getting away with that kind of thing.
Yes. Frankly, I'm quite surprised by the lack of action of some others around the area. Perhaps it's just a culture thing.
We can't all be great.
Yeah. You are the greatest, though, as you said.
This is established.
So we know, as proxy, all of us cannot be. There is a maximum to this, and that is you.
I find you worthy. And I look at the whole party.
I feel honored.
I mean, yeah.
Like, oh my god, you think I'm worthy?
Oh my god. Like, I know, but keep telling me.
That's an insane feedback loop of I know, keep telling me your energy between folks.
Hey. Being showered in compliments is one of my favorite things, okay?
I'd be curious to like fly over to the grandfather sigils that I see.
Sure. Yeah.
And
There's definitely a large tent over towards the center of the location that you guys are at, with the symbol of the grandfather on the top of the like the tents that like tailgating they have. It's got like the
Yes.
you can have different things on them, so it's got the symbol of the Godfather on one of those.
yeah, I wanna. What's like if I walk into the tent? What's in the?
Yeah, you walk up. There seems to be a bunch of people there. Different tables of some snacks and things like that. You see a lot of metal covered individuals, clank people, walking around, sort of talking to each other. You see there's like a little bit of like I'll say like an oil station for their gears and stuff, as they put some like oil in a cup and drink that, and then they have regular sort of ales and things off to the side for people who are not clanks. But yeah, they're in their sort of like metal sort of armor with like blue sort of not robes but like fabrics sort of moving in and out of their armors symbolically. And this clank individual walks up and goes, and I wish I had like a voice changer to do this. This would be so cool
Oh,
to do like a sort of radio-esque sound to your
Mhm.
voice. And goes, hi, welcome to the grandfather's tent. What can we help you with?
Is before I respond, is this the most stately, like high priestly looking clank here?
Are you looking for that one?
I am looking for that. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say so. The first one that is like the immediate greeter would probably just be another follower, and just walks up, says hi. Is the greeting committee essentially, with some of the others. If you look around, you can kind of see are in the back area.
I put my hand in his face, push it aside, and look for the most
Whoa!
stately.
You move
Excuse me. Trying to find like the highest priest that I can here.
All right.
Can I? Would it be okay if I follow you?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Sorry, I'm here to learn a lot. Just about the various divinities here, and you seem to know a lot. So I feel like I should follow you.
I am also curious to learn.
All right. So this is the path you walk, as you said.
Yes, but not theirs. I look around to all around the tent.
Right, you look around. There's some other clanks kind of talking. They've kind of looked over towards you now that you've like palmed the face of their friend and moved him out of the way. But yeah, that I think would also get the eyes of the higher ups, sort of in the back, where you see the more shiny armor, some gold sort of filigree, I think is the word, on their metal as well. And they turn and look towards you, and just kind of watch to see what you do.
I'd walk up to them and just say like, "Hello, I am Evandris. I would like to inquire of this sigil and what following the path looks like to you."
They kind of nod for a second. One of them turns and steps forward. He goes, yes, welcome to the grandfather's tent. We're followers. We're higher up in the order, per se. What would you like to know about it? We're here. We have some people talking to other individuals who are potentially interested, spreading the various good word of the grandfather.
Let's start with the word of the grandfather. What's, in your perspective, good about this sitting around?
Well, we don't normally sit around. We are just a group of us here today that have been sent by Father Axiom to talk to the people of Braenar about everything that the grandfather is good for. Honoring him by building lavishly, and as he kind of points his lavish armor over towards you guys. How true power is constant, and that of the strongest. And he kind of gives like a nudge to your very strong like bicep as you're standing there. And he goes, not betraying your teachers. If you were to, you would hold no power. And you are to act worthy, and you shall be deemed worthy. So we are here to spread those tenets, and that's why we have so many people here. Father Axiom thought it'd be good to have plenty of us around to talk to as many of the festival goers as possible.
How strong? Like how strong does his army look? Is it-
Oh gosh, it looks like pretty good plate armor. That is potentially a little more for show than for actual defense, seeing as though this is like a social affair and they're trying to put on some sort of like impressive sort of view to everyone.
I just like take my knuckles, just ting ting ting, kind of
looks
like
down for a second.
very just not like in no sort of station, just kind of inspecting the lavishness of it, doing like the dust test, and just being like, awfully extrinsic. Seems almost a bit disconnected.
Well, that's coming. Are you a follower of the grandfather?
I am the follower of the grandfather.
He kind of nods for a second. Looks your like the fact that you're wearing like only cloth and like not plate armor that is like, shining and whatever. Like kind of looks at your outfit and goes, "All right, I guess his breath of power is wide and unknowing. We welcome
throwing shade
all
right now.
followers." What was that?
Is he throwing shade right now?
You feel like a tad of it, but he follows up with, "We accept all followers of the grandfather. Please take from the various food and drink here, and welcome to the festival."
Right. I give like a kind of like a toothy fake smile, and then push one of the other ones like out of the way towards the ale.
See another one of the like smaller like greeting committee ones come up and is like, "Hi," and you just palm out of the way again.
I run back and follow you. I was just listening and watching.
They kind of give you a quick look of like, you can tell they're like, "What do you want?" And then you just go off.
Wow. This is a very, very sturdy group of people, it seems.
Sturdy in show.
You don't respect these people.
No. Divine building lavishly. They put on airs. There's no spirit here. No path.
What do you think is the core tenets of the grandfather then?
The core tenets. To even put rules on it doesn't make sense, but to answer, if anything should be built, it's yourself. True power is constant and the only thing that's important. But those who challenge their teachers grow power, no hold power, as if it can be concentrated through words and not action. The worthy part is right. On that, we agree. And I'd start throwing back ale.
Very
Not throw it.
rigorous.
I should say he's not an alcoholic. He's just like
It's
respect
two
that
fists
he's
of.
working responsibly.
It's like when you go to the like work conventions and you're like, "I might just have like a bar
Yeah.
drink or something." It's on the
I like pull out
time.
like a medieval drink ticket and just let me get one of those.
Yeah, I finished the rest of my hot chocolate after he gives a speech about building your body. And
That's the spirit.
yes. Do you think I would be a good fit as a follower of the grandfather.
Hmm.
Just sort of first impression of me.
We'll work on it.
Okay.
I also like kind of I say when I say work on it, I like push your shoulders up so that like your chest is like out more.
I do it way too much.
Like what? Hold on.
Is this correct?
It's dial it back. 1. Nope. There you go.
I don't know. I feel awkward in my body constantly, so maybe we can work on it.
We'll start in the gym. We'll lift a little bit and see if we can work some of that confidence in.
Okay, I've never been.
I can tell.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll move from here. Is there anything else you guys would like to partake in the festival?
I would like to quickly pay a quick homage to a land fertility shrine god.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Udar Feywim is the god of harvests, food, and nature. If you would like to visit the Udar tent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, without an issue, you look around, and you find a tent with a leaf with a pattern of little water droplets on it, and that is the tent of Udar. And all the people who follow have specific. What is the Udar Sanctuary tent? Seems to be like green and leaves sort of everywhere. And you walk up, and there seems to be this like older, sort of hunched over, big, shelled back individual there that looks to be of of Galapagos descent, an old turtle, with the staff just kind of sitting on a tree stump at the front, nodding as people go by.
So I'm gonna come by and be like, I just want to have an offering for our goddess here to help bring fertility to the fields of Nos.
Yes, absolutely. Feel free to step in. There's some vines you can pluck a leaf from and throw it in the little pool of prayers right over there. And he points his little staff into the tent.
Yeah. Little bloop. Make it grow a little extra in my hand.
You pluck it, and then you see from the vine it like immediately regrows another one as you hold this one in your hand, and it starts to grow in size as well from your sort of nature magic. Yeah. You have this little
Cast
vine.
it in. And
Put
then
your little
come back
prayer
to
in
the
it.
group like, okay, I'm done.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to do? Or I might offer another fear real quick, fear use, and ask a question of if no one has anything immediately that they would like to do, may I suggest a bit of a time skip
Whoa.
just for the rest of the day.
Okay.
I think
hey, you jumped in. Okay.
I think I did want to go and look around at like maybe some of the other divinity tents,
Sure.
and see who might would be interested in my sort of vibe going on.
Sure. Would you like a little summary of the deities represented here? Or would you just like to go around and sort of feel it out?
I think I'd go feel it out. Maybe probably lean towards if there's any more natural leaning ones. Yeah.
Like nature and okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say right off the bat, the more natural. I mean, they all have some sort of connection to either like fate, tide things or natural earth type, or not earth, Thalione technically is the planet, natural Thalione type things. If you stay on the side of more like the Thalione type items, there is Avian Zargul, who is the god of like molten / raw planet. There's Vagon Huabani, which is of the seas. Also, there's Udar, which was just visited, of harvest, food, and nature. Rainier Zargolg is that of weather. And Phosphine Fewem is that of sun, moon, and stars, I would say. Those are your closest to natural sort of connection.
I think I might have just followed in with Aurelia.
Okay. I guess I also forgot. There's like there's the kids section with the whatever of Socios written. I guess as well.
Okay. No, I think I follow in with Aurelia with what is it, Fewem?
You guys went into the Udar Fewem.
Udar, yeah.
And so you see this turtle there, that is just kind of nodding as you go into, just kind of bopping around.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Kind of turns very slowly and looks at you.
I have an interesting thing. I was hoping you might be able to shed some information on.
I can certainly try.
Well, I don't know what to do really here. But I sort of came to this festival looking for insights on divine nature, I guess. I have this stick.
Come to the right place.
Okay. I have this stick. I don't know what it is. But it keeps.
He looks and he's like, "Well, I've got a stick too," and he's got his little walking stick.
Does it follow you around?
I mean, in a way, I don't walk without it.
Does it follow you unwillingly?
He kind of takes it for a sec and like holds it out and lets go of it and watches it dropping at the ground. And he goes, "No."
Okay, so I sort of have a predicament, and I just I run outside, drop my stick, come back inside, and show that I have no stick. And then a few seconds later, the stick warps into my hand.
I look over at you, I'm like, huh.
Yeah, right? I don't know what's going on sort of here. But it's nothing like magic I've ever seen, which is all sort of man-made, man-harnessed power. So I had an inkling of a feeling that it could be of the divine. So I don't know. What is it?
He goes, all right, let me see. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to discern, but I'm sure I can detect if it's at least divinity or not.
Yes.
And
Yes, that would be great.
He reaches his little hand out, his little probably like little stubby turtle hand, and kind of holds it over it for a second as you see him close his eyes, and you see kind of like the vines and the greenery. Probably if you're like standing near that vine area still, as you're casting your leaf into the pool, they start to kind of grow in size as a whole and cover the back area a little bit further as you kind of see him focus in, and then he retracts his hand and they kind of like settle back in again. And he goes, "Well, that's definitely some divinity.
It is.
It's not from a wizard, and I don't think it's anything evil, really. I didn't get any curses or anything from it."
Well, do you know why it follows me? I've never been a part of any divinity my entire life before. I don't know why it would follow me. It's like a stupid little animal that doesn't know anything.
Yeah. I feel like this is the best place to be. If you maybe walk around and feel it out, maybe there's something that could call to you.
Okay.
I think you're on the good path with the nature stuff,
Yeah.
but I might be a little biased.
Okay. Well, but this does not. You don't think this is your god's magic?
It doesn't feel like you'd are.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
He goes, of course, and he bends down. He like goes to nod and keeps bending, and just picks up his stick and then sits back down.
Yes, I bow really deeply and really longly.
Like, makes me think of like a flip phone. Where it's just...
Yes.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Come
right
on,
off
Morgan,
the-
let's go find the others.
All right. You saw that with the stick, though. You don't know what that is, do you?
Have I ever seen anything like that in my life before?
You have not.
No clue.
Curious. Anyways.
All right. I'm now, well, let's say, going to use another fear to make the time skip happen. Let's say you guys casually walk around, maybe playing the occasional game and stuff. You go to a couple different locations, and the other tents also say, like, it's definitely divinity. I don't recognize it, though. And you guys keep, hanging out for a bit. The day comes to a close. You see the sunset happen, start to, like, peek out over some of the clouds as your day kind of reaches an end. And I'm guessing, would you guys like to return to your inn? This festival goes on for a few days, so you can definitely, pick it up at some other point. Would you go to back to your rooms or anything like that?
I'm probably gonna hang out with Elret for like a little bit. Have like a little tea.
I think I
Yes.
would attempt to join. If you would
I
have.
think I would too.
Tea party?
Døden will sniff it.
I am the party.
All right.
What was that, Alex?
Did you mention something of cheese?
Døden would sniff it, but he can't drink
Oh,
it.
sniff it,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh,
Can I
nice.
have them all sample my cheese for
Wasn't-
the very first time?
Wasn't there a word of stew?
So we did not get all the stew ingredients. We might need to go out and look for the rest tomorrow.
Rats.
I know. I've never made this recipe before. It was my grandmother's. Well, a couple of greats ago, and it was actually Aurelia that convinced me to try and make them. So we'll see how it goes. I hope I can do her some justice.
We love going on little cooking adventures because the best ingredients mean the best food, and the best food means the happiest tummy.
Better pizza, better ingredients.
Poetry.
So
To
I'll set up my little charcuterie shield and put it down and bring out a nice little round thing of my cheese and a few of my little homemade crackers that I make, and like scrounge up some berries, get them all together. Like, here you go.
this is
Can't
gonna
wait for you guys to try this cheese. It is truly exceptional.
should pair very well with the ale.
It does.
To
It's more of a wine cheese.
Yeah.
to happy
But
tummies.
you
and
do you.
New friends.
Cheese.
Jeez.
Cheese.
You guys clink your little things. What does your cheese taste like as they
Yeah, we
go
all
in
grab a
for
toothpick
taste?
and clink a cube of cheese.
So this cheese is like the most golden cheese you've ever seen in your life. It comes out of like a little clay pot because I bury it to ferment for like a few days and then take it out right at the right time. So it's the most like creamy, sweet, like not too sweet. It's got like a good tang to it, but it's like a big array of like flavor ratatouille explosion happening in your brain. It's got like slight floral notes that are just enough and not too much. It's like perfectly balanced as all things should be.
My wings materialize as I eat the cheese. Just the golden ethereal motes of light.
This
See, the flowers I used to make this cheese are only grown by my family in
only
a
grown by
specific
family.
spot from my hometown.
This is a treasure. I will say. Would you mind if I whenever we part ways, I take some to back to my group of people.
I can only give you so much. Unfortunately, our lands are becoming dry and it's hard to grow these flowers.
Really?
That's why I've been out exploring, is trying to find a better place for them to thrive, but they just don't seem to thrive anywhere.
Whoa. That's awful.
Truly.
Don't worry, we won't let your way of life dry up like that land. And Elret's tearing up a little bit.
No, there's plenty of fertile soil all over the planets that can house this delicious dairy.
I'm
Sorry.
You'll-
This is precious to me, and I had such a wonderful time today with you guys that I would love to share it.
It's an honor.
Truly.
So, if there's nothing else you guys would like, is there anything else you guys would like to share before you head back to your rooms at the inn?
Cheers.
Another cheers.
round.
One with cheese and one with ale.
Cool. So I'll say you guys go back to your rooms at the inn, back to your wood floors and wood walls, and pass out for the night. And the next day, your eyes all drearily open to view the bright morning sun rays clipping through the thin curtains of your room. The smell of fluffy pancakes and warm butter wafts up the stairs and under the small cracks at the bottom of your doors as your ears begin to process the sound of kids running down the streets. What would you all like to do?
And what is the view out of the window?
You get up, and as you sort of stand up, your right arm and your leg kind of feel like they're a bit loose in the socket, and they kind of hurt for a sec. And you go to peer out the window.
I would like to listen for the voices of Elret and Aurelia in the hall.
Sure.
As soon as I get that waft of pancakes, I'm knocking on Elred's door being like, pancakes?
Yeah, you open the door, give a knock.
Let's go fill our bellies.
And you hear
Got a
the
lot of
crackle.
shopping to do today.
Mm-hmm.
I too.
You know, yesterday got cut short, but someone died.
It was a murder.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good excuse to not do all your shopping.
Do you look through your bag for getting your stuff ready, looking for your ingredients and such? You don't spot any tomatoes.
And to the window, seeing out there.
You look out the window and there seems to be, a bustling sort of festival. There are kids running down the streets, various tents of vegetables and other fruits and things like that, with some tents of the other deities and such, all represented throughout the rest of the fair.
Do I have the parsnips?
There doesn't seem to be any parsnips either.
Now make a sensing check for a little bird's eye view, looking down from above everybody to see if there are any older elven men, shorter halfling women, and I think you said elvish for the dead body?
It was an elvish body.
Yeah.
The elvish man, and the three there were a satyr, a halfling, and
Oh yes,
another
the
elvish
fawn.
man.
Yeah. First priority is definitely the body. Second priority is everything else, or is the other duo. But
Go ahead and give me that roll.
it's
First
definitely
priority.
listening. A 12 with hope.
Well, with hope. You peek out of the room again. That shoulder and leg still kind of bothering you for a sec, but you spread the curtains and peer out, and I'll say your inn is kind of right on the outskirts of the entry, of which the place that you found her was probably on the back side. I'll say your room is high enough where you can kind of peer over, and you look and you see kind of clambering out onto the roof is the elvish lady that you had seen lying on the ground the day before, working her way up to the roof to fix what seems to be a broken sign piece attached to the roof.
You use thanks to, or I get a thanks quote. Interesting.
So we'll take a break there real quick.
All right.
So yeah, I guess that's
Whoa.
episode 1.
Hey!
Wow.
People are finishing watching that. Thanks for watching episode 1. Go see the second part of this, which is episode 2 of this group.